Tired of ads interrupting your favorite show? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Download the Amazon Music app or visit amazon.com/ad-free sports. That's amazon.com/ad-free sports to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads. Enjoy thousands of Acast shows ad-free for Prime members. Some shows may have ads.
Who exactly are the football gods? Well, join us every week and find out.
Yeah, we sit down with famous faces to offer them the ultimate footballing role. Total power over the beautiful game.
From comedians to musicians, footballers past and present, we'll be exploring the big questions like who Max Rushton is sending to football hell.
Ali McCoist. And
Sure.
and the reasoning is as follows.
Sort of a popular choice.
Please, if you put this out on social media, let me give the reason.
Given the power, how would you change football?
Join me, Kate Mason.
And me, Tim Spears, wherever you get your podcasts.
We're still a few days away from Serie A resuming with round 15, but there has been some Coppa Italia action in midweek. In fact, the round of 16 has been split across 3 separate weeks. First and foremost, we should explain why. Essentially, what has happened is there is a new revamped Super Cup format, which features a Final Four stage, which is the top 2 from the previous season in Serie A. So Napoli, the champions, Lazio, the runners-up, and then the 2 finalists from the Coppa Italia. So the winners and holders, Inter, and the beaten finalists, Fiorentina. But then they are playing in December because the Super Cup is slated for January, which means the 8 round of 16 matches which are normally played in January are now being split between 4 in December and 4 in January. We saw the first pair of those 4 matches in December this week. Lazio managed to exact revenge over Genoa at the Olimpico, where they'd previously been beaten this season by the Rossoblu, and it was a fairly comfortable win for the Biancocelesti. They scored early on, Matteo Guendouzi scoring after 5 minutes, and after that they were able to repel Genoa's advances, despite the best efforts of Matteo Retegui, the Italy international, who had scored when these sides met earlier on in the season in Serie A. So Lazio safely through to the next round of the competition, the quarterfinals, where there is scope, believe it or not, for a derby della capitale, provided Roma can get the better of Cremonese, something they didn't manage in the Coppa Italia last season. Lest we forget, Cremonese not only knocked out the team that went on to win Serie A, Napoli, they did so at the Maradona, but they also then shocked Roma at the Olimpico. So there's no guarantee that when Roma meet Cremonese in the capital on the 3rd of January, that the Giallorossi will necessarily win that. But were they to win that match, we would have a Derby della Capitale as early as the quarterfinal stage of the Coppa Italia. They who famously met in a Coppa Italia final when Senad Lulic scored the winning goal. So that was the first of the round of 16 matches, Lazio getting the better of Genoa in an all Serie A clash. Unfortunately, we have now lost the last survivor from the lower leagues. Second tier Parma raced into a 2-goal lead against Fiorentina, goals from Adrien Bernabé and Boni inside 2 first half minutes, midway through the first period, away at Fiorentina at the Franchi. A reminder of the Coppa Italia format. The top 8 sides from the previous season in Serie A get a bye through to the round of 16 stage, where they then play their tie at home. Fiorentina trailing by 2-0. It was that way until 7 minutes from time when Mbala Nzola, who is a particular favourite of Fiorentina coach Vincenzo Italiano. He worked under him with Trapani and Spezia and now with Fiorentina. He scored to halve the deficit, and then Riccardo Sotil converted a slightly generous penalty for handball late on to make it 2 each. The match then went to penalties, and given Fiorentina had all the momentum, they went on to win the penalty shootout by 4 penalties to 1. So Fiorentina, last season's runners-up in the Coppa Italia, who also were a beaten finalist in the Conference League, looked like they were heading out, but they were able to just about get over the line. And as I mentioned, Lazio through to possibly play Roma in the next round. Fiorentina are through to play the winners of Inter against Bologna, which comes just under a fortnight from now. 2 weeks away, essentially, for our American listeners there. I apologize that I'm not localizing my language, fortnight being 2 weeks. Inter Bologna, that will come up on the 20th of December, and the winners will play Fiorentina. So we could even have a repeat of last season's final in the quarter-final stage. A day earlier, we have the final one of that quartet of sides that will contest the Super Cup. It's Napoli against Frosinone. Napoli, who are not having the best season domestically when it comes to their title defence in Serie A. They'll be hoping to go at least further than the round of 16, where they were knocked out last season, as I mentioned earlier, by Frosinone. So 2 round of 16 ties in the Italian domestic cup already negotiated. To recap, Lazio eliminated Genoa by a 0-0. Fiorentina needed penalties to get past Parma. On the 19th of December, it's Napoli against Frosinone, 9 o'clock kickoff in that one. And the following day, it's Inter against Bologna at the Meazza on the 20th of December. There remain 4 ties to be played in the early portion of January. Milan-Cagliari on the 2nd of January, Atalanta-Sassuolo and Roma-Cremonese the following day, which is Wednesday, the 3rd of January, a 2-tiered kickoff slot there. Atalanta-Sassuolo at 6, Roma-Cremonese at 9. And it all comes to a close with Juventus against Salernitana on Thursday, the 4th of January. Salernitana under Pippo Inzaghi, he who was a goal-scoring legend with the Bianconeri. He will take the Granata to Turin, hoping to score an upset against the old lady. So there's your recap for the Coppa Italia. We'll be back very soon to break down match day 15 in Serie A.
Become a member at patreon.com/Serie A Chronicles for regular bonus episodes and content.
Sports Social Podcast Network.